Good night again. Good night again. Hope you guys are having a wonderful night tonight. Yes. All I do is a double time. Good night to all. Please share these videos to help a fellow veteran. This is retired Command Samuel S. Centeno again from Etching Consulting. You can find me at my website, etchingconsultation.com. Again, etchingconsultation.com. Do not forget, before we start this live, to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you can find me at Etching Space Consultation. Again, Etching Space Consultation, YouTube. And do not forget to hit that bell over there so you can get my videos. Again, another live tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Share this video to help a fellow veteran. We're gonna have an interesting topic tonight, and I want to talk to help veterans out there. For those that do not know me, I'm a retired Command Sergeant Major with 25 years of service. I retired in 2020. What do? I have a business consultation. I do help with VA claims, retirement consultation from the military or civilian service, projecting your pay, benefits, life insurance, medical insurance. I also can help you with resumes and also can do notary public. If you live in the Central Florida area, let me know and I can help you out. Also, my uniqueness that a lot of people don't have is I do speak Spanish also, so I can help my community out there, a Hispanic community. A lot of them can understand these topics better. That's what I do the first half in English and then transition to Spanish. The Spanish version is shorter, but I do it because it's easier for a lot of service members that can relate a little bit better, okay? Disclaimer, this information is not sponsored by the US government. I do not represent the military. I'm completely retired and I do not represent or I am affiliated with any government entity. This is a consulting business. I am not affiliated with any government entity. This is information is based completely on experience. If you send me a message to my website, etchingconsultation.com, make sure you put your name, phone number, and email so I can get back to you. All right, that's the quickest way you can find me. You can also send me a message on my Facebook. And also, like I said, if you want to call me during the live, you can do it at the end. When I'm finishing the live, and the phone number is 321-710-5570. Again, the phone number is 321-710-5570. And you can give me a call if you want to discuss anything you want to talk about. I know there's some people that tune in a little bit late, but if you have any comments, please put them on Facebook. I'm also live in YouTube. You can put the comments there, and this video stays recorded in Facebook and also YouTube. Forecasting later to go in different platforms. Again, and I'm going to say this before I start live tonight. This is a consulting business. I do have a full-time job. I know there's a lot of companies out there that this is all they do. They produce videos, and that is awesome. I do not have that flexibility because I work. I try to do my best to do a live every week so I can put content out there. That does not mean if you send me an email to my website at etchingconsultation.com, I will reach out to you as soon as I can, okay? And those that have hired me in my services know that I'm really, really fast in answering a email or a text or a message, okay? I'll answer between hours. On that day, I'll get back to you, okay? Let's go to business. We're gonna have an interesting topic tonight. This is going out there. They put some fire there. This is on fire right now. There's a lot of channels out there talking about this topic. I decided to do a short version of the topic and also gonna do the other half in Spanish. And it's about a proposal out there that is going on to reduce VA benefits for some veterans. I'm gonna break it down. I'm not gonna go really in depth because this is really a little bit not confusing, but there's a lot of people that believe or will say this will pass. I do not believe this will pass, but of course it's of concern. What do I say that? I've been working for the government for 28 years, okay? I know how the government works. Even when we go furlough, been there, done that. I mean, it's a process, okay? So we have to understand how the process works. Because you see something doesn't mean it's gonna happen. Yes, it's awesome to put it out there, especially to alert service members of the mentality of trying to cut money from veterans out there, okay? So I'm gonna break it down, and this is coming from the Congressional Budget Office, also known as CBO. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit, okay? Who they are, what do they do? Again, Congressional Budget Office, I didn't even know this exists over there. I mean, working with the government, I know every agency does have a budget, and they work out of the budget every year. Even in the military, you have to submit a budget for every fiscal year, so you can actually project and forecast how much money you're gonna spend through the year to do training and many other things. So every government agency does work like that. Not to say that during certain administrations, agencies were not working in a budget. They were working some in resolutions and even asking for money at a time. In other words, we're living some crazy days, okay? So what is the Congressional Budget Office? What do they do? Also known as CBO. They provide Congress with objective, non-partisan, and timely information analysis and estimates related to federal economic and budgetary decisions. What does that mean? They always produce independent, non-partisan analysis of economic and budgetary issues to support the congressional budget process. What does that mean? I mean, what does that mean? Because I am telling you, I was a little bit confused there and I did not know what to think about it. You have to understand that every administration is different. I am not gonna talk about politics here because this affects every veteran service member. And I think we have to put that to the side, okay? I'm not gonna talk about here politics, even though you agree or disagree with me, okay? But I'm gonna break it down so you can understand a little bit of this topic and what is the proposal. Again, just a proposal. A lot of people are ringing bells and whistles and going all crazy, like everything in the world is gonna end, but this will take some time, okay? Now let's take it step by step. Some of this information is taken from different websites. I will discuss the websites here in a second. Some of them is from the Washington Post. This is recent, from April 3rd, and it talks about opinion veterans deserve support, but one benefit program deserves scrutiny, and that is the VA system, okay? Why do they say that? I have no clue, but I'm gonna change my slide here so we can talk about some of these websites. This is the first one I'll talk about briefly because I do have my notes, okay? But this is from the Washington Post, and I'm gonna go step by step here so I can break it down. First, we need to understand that every agency works in a budget. I talked about that. And I talked about the CBO. What do? They project how they can cut the budget. We all know the days that we're living here in the US, we know that we're spending too much money, ain't we? I think we are, and we all know that. So they're trying to cut the budget, but one of the ways they're trying to do it, they're trying to cut money from veterans, which I do not agree. Okay, but a couple of points here. One fact is that the budget for the Department of Veterans Affairs has grown since September 11. That's point number one, okay? I'm gonna post this once I edit the video on YouTube. You can read it yourself. All this information is here. But one of the facts is that they realize that the budget has grown since September 11. We all know what started to happening in September 11. I think we went to a war, didn't we? I mean, you're talking about 20 years at war. Of course, it's a result of being at war, meaning that service members get injured. Okay, so we have to understand that. But this is one of the points that they're talking about after September 11th. And it says here that the budget went from 45 billion to 300 billion. You might ask yourself why. I did said that already. Well, the military has been in war. Well, actually ended 2020, 2021 when they pulled out of Afghanistan. But if I recall, we've been fighting the war for a long time. We've been at war, which ended, and it's been 20 years. So that is the reason that budget went up. So all these people are making these plans out there with the CBO, right, with the budget. I think they need to understand the dynamics. Not only that, I will also talk about what the Secretary of VA of Veterans Affairs says about this, because this sends alarm everywhere, and we need to understand what is actually going on this topic, okay? We are talking about 20 years of war. I didn't go to Afghanistan, thank God. I went to Iraq 3 times, so I cannot talk about Afghanistan a lot. But I can say, for what I've seen is that service members have a lot of combat-related injuries. And I'm not even talking about the mental health issues that we're having. That's one of the other topics that I'm going to talk about. But it's mind-blowing, okay, to understand that they're thinking about cutting budget of service members that acquire injuries while they were deployed. And I talked about many other different things, because one of the proposals is of course based on how much income you bring into the house as a household. Not only you, including your wife and whoever lives and resides in your house, which is mind-blowing to understand. But service members are there. You need to understand what's going on. Then don't say you didn't know. That's the reason. If you want to reach out to your Congress representation, you should do that. That's your right. I don't think you do anything wrong in doing it to actually to sound the alarm. Point number 2, Congress knows that wars cost money, but many times they forget to budget the results of injured soldiers or service members during war. You know, one of the mind-blowing things that I can recall, because I can only talk about my experience. Every service members are there. They have different experiences, and I understand that different services have also different experiences because of the type of service that they do. For example, the Air Force. I give you a good one. Air Force, a lot of people don't know that the Air Force only do 3 months deployment. They rotate. Do I blame them? No. Other services do 6 months. The Army does 1 year, and sometimes they get extended. I don't know about the Marines. I wasn't in the Marines. I'm just talking about what I know. So what I'm saying, every service or every service member is affected differently, also based on injuries. And we talk about mental health. That's another completely separate issue. Now, it's interesting to see that different administrations take money away from agencies and shift it to other agencies. I can only talk from my experience. I said it again. I can only talk from my experience. I know for a fact, I'm not talking about politics here, but administration shift money from programs or agencies to different programs. This is my experience. I joined in 1995. From 1995 to 1996, while I was assigned to Fort Raleigh, Kansas, I was a 13 Bravo at the time, artillery, right? We did not have money to go into the field, and we did not have money for fuel or bullets. Okay? Period. We did not have money for fuel or for bullets. We went to the field. Those that were with me in Fort Raleigh can relate to this. If you tune in or see this video later, we were taken to the field in HEMETs. Those are the big trucks. Went to the field. I was artillery then. We shot for like 2-3 days. Then the HEMETs came back and picked us up. And they found money for the bullets, of course, because if not, we wouldn't be able to fire the harvesters at the time. I was self-propeller at the time. Well, that was my experience. So I know different administrations, when they switch over, they have different goals and they switch the money. That's just the way it is. That is a fact. Okay? You can call it whatever you want to call it, but that is a fact. Okay? Point number 3. Benefits are paid regardless whether if a service member is working or not. And this is on this over here. You can read it, okay? So they're basing it on that service members get paid regardless of working or not. Huh, interesting. Because if a service member, let's break this down for a second. How are you going to penalize a service member? Usually, a lot of service members join the military when they're young, number one. Okay, they're full of energy. They want to conquer the world. They want to experience combat. Okay, and they get injured. All right, they still want to produce or do something for society. Okay, that's just the way it is. You train a service member, right? You train him to kill some of the branches, right? That's what you train him for. They get injured, and now they want to contribute to society. So why would you even talk about whether service members are working or not? Okay, you're trying to compare this with the Social Security. I mean, Social Security is completely different. Okay, this is for service-related injuries. You're talking about some service members that have lost limbs. They don't have their legs. They don't have their arms. What are they going to do? Some of them still want to work. They still want to serve to their community. So how are you going to tell me you're going to penalize them for this? So service members out there, you need to understand this. Is it going to pass? I don't think so. But you need to be aware of what's going on when they actually start shifting or thinking about cutting budget from the VA. Okay? We've been fighting, again, we were at war for 20 years. This is the result of war. Okay? Service members getting injured. And this is the consequences. All right? Service members are willing and want to work. They want to feel that they can still contribute to society. All right? Once you take this uniform off, I'm talking about the military uniform, it's hard to transition. A lot of people don't know that. Okay? It's hard to transition from the military to civilian. So a lot of people don't want to understand, and I get it, I understand, but it's hard to transition. So I think it's baloney in my, and excuse my language here, but I think is unprecedented, and I cannot think of how they can take off cutting budget from veterans. Okay, so the question is, why should a service member be penalized for contributing to society and offer a better quality of life, not only for himself but for his family? Okay, his or her family. So we need to think about that, of what's going on, and you need to be aware of the laws or proposals that they're trying to bring into Congress. All right. Point number 4. Where is the mental health crisis identified in this proposal? Like I talked about, this is really important to cover because I don't see that anywhere in here. And the consequences of war bring a lot of mental health crisis. We all know that this nation is dealing with a mental crisis. And we're dealing with a mental crisis of people that are not even in the military or have served in the military. So think about when you expose a service member to combat, the stress level, okay? So how do you compare that? I don't think there's comparisons. I mean, we all know that there's a crisis, health crisis, mental health crisis problem in this country, all right? I think it's important to understand the results of war, especially for those that suffer from mental health issues or problems. There are service members that struggle to the point that they commit suicide. And I'm gonna say this one again. There are service members that struggle to the point that they commit suicide. And I think it's sad, and we need to bring an alert and sound the alarm, because this is a serious issue. Okay? A lot of service members struggling from mental health issues, and the suicide rate has gone up. And I think we need to help each other out, because we are the only ones that can help each other. Nobody else can. All right? Once the service member commit the act, then it's too late. Okay, regardless of how we might differ in these issues, I think that the life of a person, including service members, has no price. You can not put a price tag on a person's life or even a service member's, because we all deserve to be happy in this world. So point number 5, who will this affect? Okay, who will this affect? And I'm gonna go here, change my slide here. All right, I'm gonna post this on the YouTube page once I edit this video. Who will this affect? I'm gonna read a couple points and I'm gonna break it down. Okay. Options, there are different options on this proposal, right? And it says, under this option, this is one of the options, VA will means, it calls the VA will means test all current and prospective recipients of VA disability compensation beginning in January 2024. This is a proposal, folks. After that date, veterans will receive full payments only if their gross household income in the prior calendar year was less than an inflation index's threshold for that year. Disability benefits will be phased out of a constant rate for veterans with income above the threshold. And I will talk about the threshold here in a second. For every additional $2 of gross household income, disability compensation will decrease by $1. So for every $2 of that threshold that you make, you will pay $1. That's pretty much 50%. Okay, and I can compare this to other retirement systems, but I'm not going to talk about that because I will confuse some folks in here. Under that phase out, veterans whose gross household income was $170,000 or higher in calendar year of 2023 and who will have received the average annual payment will no longer receive any disability compensation from VA in calendar year 2024. What is that threshold that I'm talking about? That threshold is $125,000. I'm going to put it, it's over here, okay? I don't know if you can see it. I had it highlighted here. That threshold right now is $125,000, which I have it right here highlighted, okay? Okay, let's keep reading into this. So that's a threshold. So for every $2 that you make over that threshold, you will have to pay $1. Now, if you make $170,000, you are out of luck. You will not receive any more veterans from the VA. And that is a proposal. Do I think this is gonna pass? I don't think so, because this is gonna make a lot of service members angry. There will be no adjustment in the income threshold for household size. The current eligibility requirements and benefits will not change for the surviving family members of a veteran or service member. What does this mean? Okay, this is a proposal. The Congressional Budget Office is a proposal, and it's a way to cut deficit of spending. All right. Now, I'm pretty sure that this proposal has to be presented to the president, and I'll talk about that in a second here, so we know how this works. Who then submits the budget to the Congress. So all this has to be approved. This is not even approved or even on the table to be approved. Why am I bringing this up? Because even though it's scary to see this as a proposal, okay, I think and I doubt this will even make it to the president. Now, could it happen? I don't know. My point is that instead of scaring service members, let's instruct them on the process and let's talk to them to inform them of the changes. Can you contact your Congress representation? Of course. And I behoove you to do it and encourage you to do it. And I'm pretty sure they will be able to help. I hope so. Because we are living some crazy days in this nation. Good luck with that. What I'm finding out is that we are stronger together and we can help each other by uniting and actually sounding the alarm. Now, what does the Secretary of the VA say? Let's think about what he said. I have his over here when he talked, and this was pretty recent. Okay. He says, let me put my glasses, folks, because I'm getting a little bit blind here. This is what he said. Okay. And I quote, Secretary Dennis McDonough shut down the idea on Thursday, saying the VA does not think this is a good idea. I quote, we think it's a bad idea and we're not going to do it. You have my commitment that we won't do it. And again, this is his words. Can you believe him or not? That is for you to believe or not. And I think you have a clear conscience to actually make your own assessment. And I'm not gonna get into that. But again, I will post this on the YouTube video when I edit the video. What is interesting, just the thinking about cutting some of the budget from the VA budget that will affect veterans. Okay? I stick to the fact, and unless I see the bill passing through Congress, I don't see this happening. And we have to see and make some noise. So we have to stay tuned for more news on this topic, which right now they're on fire. I know there's a lot of people talking about this topic, and it's awesome that many people are talking. How this works from the CBO, I said it, the budget proposal, it gets sent to the president, and then the president sends it to the House and Senate. And this is the process we all know. I think we have a general idea of how this works. But this is the topic for tonight. I'll be transitioning here to English, to Spanish pretty soon. I don't see anybody right now, but this will stay on the YouTube video or the Facebook. If you have any questions or concerns, or you have anything in specific, please let me know and I can reach out back to you. Going into the news, this is General Milley, the Chairman, Joint Chief of Staff, talking about China. Folks, stuffs out there are getting really interesting. And I'm just going to read the title. This was in March 29, 2023, which is pretty recent. The United States will remain the most powerful nation on earth if peace is to continue between the US, China, and Russia, said Chairman, Joint Chief of Staff, General Milley, who testified about the Defense Department fiscal year 2024 budget, talking about budget again. Another news, that the crisis of recruitment. I talked about this before. We have China, we have Russia, and also we have a crisis in recruitment. And I will talk about just about the Army, okay? I will post this, I highlighted it here, and I discuss what is going on. How bad is the recruiting crisis? Talking about the Army. During the last fiscal year, the Army missed its recruiting goal by 15,000. I said that again. Missed the recruiting goal by 15,000 active duty soldiers, or 25% of its target. The shortfall forced the Army to cut its planned active duty end strength from 476,000 to 466,000. And the current fiscal year is likely to be even worse. Army officials project that active end strength will shrink by as much as 20,000 soldiers by September down to 445,000. I tell you, this is scary. I think we having a issue, okay, to alarm, and I don't think you have to be a scientist to understand of what's going on with the service when they can even meet the quota to recruit, and I think it's sad. Again, this is Retired Command Sergeant Major Ed Centeno. I'll be transitioning here Spanish. I know there's not people that have connected, but this is stay on the channel. I know a lot of people watch my YouTube channels. I thank you for those that are subscribing. My channel is finally, thank God, going up. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel, Etching Space Consultation. Again, Etching Space Consultation. If you have any questions, you can send me a private message at my website, etchingconsultation.com, etchingconsultation.com, or you can find me on Facebook or in my YouTube page, okay? I'll transition here to Spanish, folks. Have a great night. You want to stay tuned for those that speak Spanish? No problem. Muy buenas noches, este es el sargento retirado de comando Ed Centeno de Etching Consulting. Me pueden encontrar a mi página etchingconsultation.com. Tenemos un tema interesante esta noche. ¿Qué son las cosas que yo hago para aquellos que no me conocen? Algo único que tengo es que también hablo español y puedo ayudar a aquellos veteranos de habla hispana. Algunas veces se pueden relacionar un poco mejor, ¿verdad? Para poderle ayudar. ¿Qué hago? Ayudo con reclamación de discapacidad de veteranos. También ayudo con consultas de retiro para veteranos y empleados federales. También puedo ayudarte con resumen más para empleados federales y también con notaría pública. Si vives en el área central de la Florida, te puedo ayudar. Te puedo encontrar para notarizar tus documentos. Esta información no es representando el gobierno. Esto es un negocio de consulta. No estoy afiliado con el gobierno o con la milicia. Me retiré completamente de la milicia en el 2020. Hice 25 años, me retiré como sargento mayor de comando. Y aquí estoy para servirles y ayudarles. Si me envían un mensaje a mi website, etchingconsultation.com, por favor no se olviden de poner su nombre, número de teléfono para poder contactarme con ustedes nuevamente. Al final del programa, como les digo siempre, si me quieren llamar, lo pueden hacer al 321-710-5570 o pueden poner un mensaje para contestar cualquier pregunta que tengan. Un tema interesante, vamos a hablar de algo que están proponiendo, que es con cortar dinero del Departamento de Veteranos. Hay algunos términos aquí, obviamente, que son en inglés, pero esto es un proposal, esto es no algo que está firmado, esto solamente proponiendo, obviamente, un plan para cortar el déficit. Todos sabemos en los días que estamos viviendo un déficit que estamos en trillones y trillones de dólares ahora mismo en Estados Unidos y están buscando cómo salvar dinero o cómo salvar dinero. Esta oficina se llama Congressional Budget Office o la oficina de presupuesto congresional. ¿Y quiénes son ellos? Esto supuestamente es un grupo que objetivamente no partidarios hacen análisis y estimados relacionados con economía federal y decisiones para cortar o cómo pueden ahorrar dinero en lo que es cómo se gasta dinero o cómo el gobierno federal gasta dinero. Vamos a hablar del tópico. Esta organización que hace esto. Tenemos que entender algunos puntos. Cada agencia trabaja con un budget o un presupuesto y cada agencia necesita dinero para operar. Y vamos a hablar de algunos puntos. El primer punto es esto, que es un hecho que el departamento de veteranos, su gasto ha subido desde el septiembre 11 del 2001. Todos sabemos lo que sucedió en septiembre de 2001. Empezamos en una guerra y estuvimos por 20 años en esa guerra. Pero el budget o presupuesto subió de gastos de 45 billones a 300 billones. Entonces nos preguntamos por qué. Pues se lo dije por qué. Hemos estado en una guerra, ¿verdad? Que se acabó en el 2020-2021. Unos 20 años en donde soldados o miembros de servicio han estado expuestos por unos 20 años y estos son los resultados. Ahora todos esos miembros de servicio regresan, se acomodan, conectan nuevamente o incorporan nuevamente con la sociedad. Entonces ahora estamos viendo que estos veteranos o miembros de servicio pues necesitan este seguimiento, necesitan tratamiento. Eso es lo que sucedió. Es interesante que ellos entienden que esta es la razón que esto sucedió y por eso el presupuesto ha subido de esta manera. Estamos hablando de 20 años. Yo no fui a Afganistán, no puedo hablar de Afganistán, estuve en Irak 3 veces y sé que muchos miembros de servicio incurrieron, se lastimaron, muchos de ellos perdieron su vida, muchos de ellos todavía están pasando por problemas mentales o crisis mentales porque fueron expuestos al servicio. No podemos entender por qué quieren hacer esto, porque de verdad no entiendo la dinámica y muchas veces es que estas personas que están trabajando en estas oficinas no entienden la dinámica y obviamente ellos están tratando de salvar dinero de algún lado. Punto número 2. El Congreso sabe que una guerra cuesta, pero algunas veces se le olvida cómo proyectar el dinero que se va a usar para tratar con esos miembros de servicios cuando llegan esos veteranos. Y yo creo que debemos de hacer mejor. Y es triste que no entendamos el por qué estas entidades y administraciones no pueden proyectar mejor. Cuando estoy hablando de presupuesto, le puedo dar la experiencia en el 1995, cuando ingresé al ejército, del 1995 al 1996, no teníamos dinero. Me recuerdo que estaba en Fort Valley, Kansas, en el puesto Kansas estaba. No tenían dinero ni para gasolina ni para balas, por decirlo así, para entrenar. Y eso es un hecho, yo estuve allí. No voy a hablar de política, ustedes saben quién estaba en la administración, en el poder en ese tiempo. Pero eso es algo que es un hecho. La información de donde la saqué, perdonen, una de las informaciones del Washington Post. Voy a estar hablando de esto brevemente. Voy a poner estas páginas, como estoy hablando un poquito más rápido en español, pero esta información salió de ahí, también salió del Military Times, del secretario de veteranos, ¿está bien? Cuando vemos aquí, el punto número 3 es que aquí está hablando, que tampoco entiendo, es que habla que los miembros de servicio reciben este dinero aunque trabajen o no trabajen. En otras palabras, es como si estuvieran penalizando a los miembros de servicio por querer trabajar y seguir contribuyendo a la sociedad. Y di el ejemplo que muchos miembros de servicios cuando ingresan al servicio militar son jóvenes. Ellos quieren servir, ellos tienen hambre de servir, son jóvenes, como dicen en Puerto Rico, quieren comerse el mundo. Entonces cuando van a guerra y se lastiman o les sucede algo, pues obviamente ellos se dan de cuenta que no pueden servir como lo hacían antes, pero quieren todavía contribuir a su comunidad. Pero entonces aquí te lo están comparando, penalizando a los soldados o miembros de servicio que quieren seguir contribuyendo a la sociedad, entonces su paga sería afectada. No entiendo por qué lo están haciendo. Esto es solamente una propuesta. Yo no creo que esto vaya a pasar, pero obviamente es triste que estén pensando hacer esto. La pregunta es, ¿cómo vas a penalizar un miembro de servicio que está tratando de ayudar a la sociedad, aunque tiene condiciones, todavía puede contribuir a la sociedad y quiere trabajar no tan solo para ayudarse a sí mismo, pero también a su familia? Otro punto que tenemos que entender, que aquí cuando hablamos de estas noticias del Washington Post, aquí no está hablando de la crisis mental que estamos viviendo en este país y también en el servicio militar. Muchos miembros de servicios tienen problemas mentales porque son expuestos a peligro. Hemos tenido otros videos en ese tema, pero no entendemos la crisis mental que estamos pasando en este país y también los veteranos. Y aquí no está hablando de eso. ¿Cómo es posible que estén hablando de tratar de cortar el presupuesto cuando no están hablando de la crisis mental que está pasando? Y dije que en mi opinión personal, la vida no tiene precio, no tan solo de un miembro de servicio, de cualquier persona. Aquí nosotros no podemos proyectar y ponerle un tag, un precio a la vida de las personas cuando entendemos lo precioso que es la vida o el valor de la vida. ¿A quién puede afectar esto? Y aquí es que vamos y se pone esto un poco interesante. Interesante que cuando hablamos aquí vamos a hablar de 2 puntos y lo voy a romper de la manera más sencilla para entenderlo. Esta propuesta habla que si un miembro de servicio hace más de $170,000 al año, pues va a perder sus beneficios. Vuelvo y te digo, es una propuesta. También dice que va a haber un threshold, ¿verdad? Y ese threshold me imagino que puede cambiar y está basado en la inflación. Entonces está hablando de $125,000 al año. Por cada $2 que tú hagas más de ese threshold, te van a cobrar $1, básicamente 50%. Entonces estamos viendo que esto es una proposición, todavía no ha sucedido, no creo que vaya a pasar, pero es alarmante que estén hablando de esta manera, de cortar los beneficios de veteranos de esta manera. La información va a estar puesta, no quiero hablar y abarcar mucho porque el tema es bastante profundo, pero si tienen alguna pregunta referente a esto, me pueden enviar una pregunta. ¿Cómo sabemos qué significa esto? Vuelvo y digo, esto es una propuesta, esto no ha pasado. Esto, si acaso llega a pasar, como estaba explicando anteriormente, tiene que pasar por el presidente, después tiene que pasar por el Senado. Me imagino que muchos de ustedes saben cómo funciona esto. Pero el punto es que es de tener un poco de miedo de que esto ha sido propuesto o ha estado pensando de esta manera, y estamos hablando de billones y billones de dólares de cortes en los beneficios de veteranos. ¿Qué dice el secretario de veteranos? Bueno, veterano secretario aquí dice, y estoy saliendo básicamente completamente de las noticias, que él entiende que esto no va a suceder y que podemos escuchar su palabra que esto no va a suceder. Usted tome esto con un grano de sal. Usted sabe los días que estamos viviendo en este país. Esas son sus palabras. Las noticias van a estar ahí. Esto es básicamente lo que íbamos a hablar esta noche. Esto es una propuesta. No quiere decir que va a suceder. Es un poco alarmante. Quiero que sigan. Vamos a seguir este tópico. Esto está ahora mismo en fuego. Muchos canales de YouTube. Muchas personas hablando de este tema. Voy a seguir buscando información a ver si algo cambia. Voy a ver si este bill o esta recomendación llega a pasar por el presidente. No quiere decir que sea aprobado por el Congreso, pero es interesante estas cosas que están tratando de proyectar. Vamos a las noticias rápidamente. Estaba hablando del general Milley, el Chairman Chief of Staff. Estaba hablando de Rusia y China. Las cosas que están sucediendo. Estamos viviendo unos días un poquito interesantes y tenemos que entender que cualquier cosa puede suceder. Aquí el Chairman Chief of Staff está diciendo the United States must remain the most powerful nation, que Estados Unidos se tiene que permanecer la nación más poderosa en el mundo. If peace is to continue between, si estamos dispuestos, en otras palabras, a mantener la paz entre China y Rusia. Interesante los días que estamos viviendo, tenemos que seguir las noticias porque esto es cosas que afectan a la milicia. Otra cosa que estaba hablando es también el problema que tienen de reclutamiento en el ejército como tal. No estoy hablando de todas las ramas, totalmente en el ejército. Y es interesante que he hablado de esto y todavía tienen un problema de reclutamiento y han estado 15,000 soldados cortos. Estamos hablando de 25% de que no llegaron a reclutar. Entonces están proyectando. Christopher, hey brother, how you doing, man? Thanks for tuning in, my brother. So it's talking about here, talking about the projection that they have missed the quota to recruit, $15,000 short, 25% of its target. Shortfall of the Army cut plant and duty strength of 476,000 to 466,000. That is crazy. The end strength could shrink by as much as 20,000 soldiers by September, down to 445,000. So I did the first half in English, my brothers, so you can see it on YouTube and Facebook. I'm sorry, I did the transition in Spanish, so I'm almost done. I know some people tune in late, but we're talking about the issues. This topic that we covered tonight is about a proposal of cutting budget that will affect veterans out there. I will doubt this will pass to Congress, but it's alarming. Read it. The message is there. I'm going to follow up in this topic, and I think we all need to know what's going on. If you need to sound the alarm to your Congress representation, please do so, because I think this is complete baloney and we need to sound the alarm. So, todo ese era lo que iba a hablar esta noche. Si alguien tiene algún comentario, por favor, déjenlo en la página. También me pueden llamar a 321-710-5570. If anybody has anything to say, please put a comment. You can also call me live if you have any comments at 321-710-5570. I'm trying to bring content every Thursday at 7 o'clock. I do work. Some folks out there, this is all they do. They produce content in YouTube. They have thousands and thousands of subscribers. Guess what? I still have a full-time job. So I do what I can. So listen, I'm here to help. If you have any questions, let me know. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel, Etching Space Consultation. Again, Etching Space Consultation. I will post the link on my Facebook page. You help me, I help you. This is to help veterans out there. I'm here to help, and I hope I can help veterans out there. So if you have anything, please let me know. This is again retired Command Sergeant Major Centeno from Etching Consulting. I'm here to help. Right now I have like 4 claims I'm helping. I'm trying to get somebody to 100% and another person to 60% and another to 80%. I'm working it one step at a time. This is what I do. I love to help service members out there, and to all that need your help, let me know, okay? So this is all for tonight, folks. Retired Command Sergeant Centeno. Have a great night. Please check out the video. It's recorded. Gonna stay in YouTube and in Facebook. Buenas noches a todos. Este es Sargento retirado de Comando del Centeno. Por favor, no se olviden de suscribirme a mi canal Etching Espacio Consultation. Si necesitan alguna pregunta, déjenme saber. Muy buenas noches. Que pasen unas buenas noches. God bless you guys. Have a great night. Thank you. Robertson, my brother, Christopher, miss you, bro. Have a good night, man. Talk to you later, bro. All right, bye-bye.